Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about this. It's the Hasselblad XCD 21mm f4. It's a wide-angle lens that came out in 2018, which means that it's old. I'll give you a quick tour of the lens, I'll tell you how it works as a carry-around lens, and I'll tell you how it performed on a commercial shoot. For those of you who have been following this channel for a while, you may remember that I already looked at this lens and decided not to get it. I decided to get the 28p instead, because second-hand, this lens was basically the same cost as the 28p was new, and the 28p was smaller and more compact, so I went for that one. Now I no longer have the 28p because I part-exchanged it for this one. Why? Well, the 28p is sort of wide-angle-ish. It's a sort of middle of the road, not too wide, not too long kind of focal length, and I just never really quite knew what to do with it. First of all, let's take a look at the 21mm. I'm used to the V lenses, so the first thing is that this is visually much simpler to look at. It doesn't have the intricate detailing of the V lenses. It also has just one feature on it, which is this large focus ring. It's a focus by wire system, which means you're not directly adjusting the optics when you twist it. There's no autofocus switch on it either. If you want to use this in manual, and I have quite a lot, then you need to use the menu on the X2D. When you look at reviews of this lens, they all say the same thing. It's built like a tank, and they're right. It's fairly compact but made of heavy metal and feels like it could survive the apocalypse. The V lenses feel solidly built for sure, but I do like the no-nonsense look and feel of the XCD 21mm. Now at 21mm, this was the widest lens that Hasselblad made until recently when they released the 20-35, which is 1mm wider. However, this lens second-hand is a relative steal at £1,600, whereas the 20-35 is available new for £5,700. At that price for an extra millimeter at the wide end, I doubt I'm going to bother. So now let's compare what 21mm gives you on a medium format system versus what it gives you on a traditional 35mm system. So this shot is 21mm on a standard 35mm system, and it's from a Canon 15-35 wide-angle zoom. Let's compare it to 21mm on the medium format system. It shows you more. It's a 70mm equivalent owing to the bigger sensor on the X2D, and also more image top and bottom thanks to the 4x3 sensor shape. One slightly weird thing that I've come to enjoy about these lenses is the sounds they make when the leaf shutter goes. Now, the 55V and the 28p all made very soft sounds, but the 90V made a sound like bones breaking. So let's see what this one sounds like. It's not really going to be a consideration when deciding what lens to buy, but I love the sound the shutter on this lens makes. More importantly, it has a max shutter speed of a 0.002 of a second, which is not as much as the V lenses, but it's still pretty good. So what about autofocus? Well, anyone coming to medium format won't be expecting lightning fast autofocus, and anyone who knows about the X2D knows that it has either a focus lock or manual focus. It's not really designed for reactive work. It's like trying to take a McLaren to IKEA. That said, the autofocus isn't too bad. It seems to lock on fairly easily. The only times I've had trouble are when I've had backlit situations, and when that's happened, I've switched to manual focus and used focus peaking to make sure I'm on the mark. I've taken this lens around Manchester and the autofocus has locked on pretty fast, without excessive hunting. So if your intention is to use this lens to capture buildings and scenery, you won't feel limited by the autofocus. For moving things, you've got to be a bit more canny, relying a lot on manual focus, and the results can be pretty good. The thick focus ring on the camera coupled with the peaking means you've got a fairly good idea of where your focus is, and since you're on a wide-angle lens, depth of field isn't such a critical issue. I'll be forever grateful to the 28p because I got this incredible picture on it, but it just doesn't feel like a wide-angle lens, and the 21mm does. Now I've done lots of videos on Hasselblad's 55V talking about how much I love the focal length and that natural in-the-room feel. The dirty secret is, of course, that doing portraits on a telephoto lens is very easy, precisely because it puts the background into a neat geometric order and then the depth of field melts it. But with wide-angle lenses, there's such a lot of context, it becomes quite a challenge to put a portrait together that has an obvious focus to it, especially if you're trying to do pictures in a chaotic place like Hyde Road Wheels and Tyres in Manchester, where there is clutter, dirt and grime everywhere you look. So let's find out if the 21mm can make any sense of it. Now, wide-angle lenses mean your geometry is flying all over the place, and you need to rely much more heavily on composition to give your subject a bit of prominence. I found it to be a much bigger challenge.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Well, I've already got his picture. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Let me get a few more. Well, that's good, yeah. Sorry about that. That's it. That's it. Good. Right, now. Good.
During this shoot though, I found the XCD 21mm to be an excellent lens, reacting fairly quickly to a fast-paced shoot and capturing gorgeous detail and colour in the process. So after all that, what do I think about this lens? Well, I think it's almost the widest lens that Hasselblad make. I think it's built exceedingly well. I think it's optically excellent, and so far, I've had an awful lot of fun with it. If I could make a criticism, I would say that f4 isn't particularly fast. If you prioritise aperture over the wide angle, you can always spend an extra £2,100 getting the 25mm f2.5, but that's not really the right choice for me. It's contrary to my experience so far to sell a brand new lens to buy an older one, but so far I'm super impressed with this. I've no regrets making the swap, and I think I'll be keeping hold of it. Thanks to everyone for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'd love it if you left a comment. If you could like or subscribe, that would be cool too. I will catch you next time.